Can you repeat that?
A shipping container of 22 tons of cocoa sells for less than $50,000.
22 tons.
That same shipping container of 22 tons of premium chocolate will sell for about $3.2 million. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. And so, when we just sell our raw material like that, we are helping them to rob us.
So
when you look at Liberia, it has bauxite as well as rubber. It has gold. It has diamonds. But if they keep selling it as raw material, then they're actually expanding the gap between what Europe is generating versus what they're generating in income.
Okay. Well, let me ask this because I don't know if Natalac has to go, and this was just impromptu, but I just had one question. As far as the cocoa, I know Nigeria. I know the ins and outs of Nigeria. It's all politics and regional tribes, and it's all about stealing money and keeping the game together. But I know in Haiti, they have a tropical climate. And they're more similar to Black USA, where they might be more serious. But in Haiti is it cocoa farmable? I think it's tropical.
Yes, Haiti does produce cocoa. In fact, I was just this week on the phone talking to the head of the National Peasant Movement in Haiti, which has over 100,000 small farmers.
See, that's what
that are part of that organization. They're having their 50th anniversary in August, and I will be there for that anniversary.
See, that's what
my point. There's tremendous potential for Haiti.
See, that's what,
and a lot of the hoopla about what's going on in Port-au-Prince. But when you get out there in the countryside, one of the campaigns they're right now trying to do in Haiti is they're working on a campaign of actually planting over 5 million trees in Haiti. And the beauty of that is those trees could be cocoa, they could be mangoes, they could be, when you start talking about it, and the beautiful thing is that if you're going to plant trees that are more valuable to you alive than dead, then in fact you would not have the deforestation that Haiti has today.
Crop trees.
When you're looking at the reason why Haiti doesn't have any trees right now is people are cutting them down to make charcoal out of them. But if you develop the countryside's economy, people will leave the city and come back out to the countryside. The United States has run a serious plan for Haiti, pushing people out of the countryside into the cities, because that's how the United States can control Haiti. I'm not sure if you all are aware, but the United States' 4th largest embassy in the world is in Port-au-Prince. Now, if Haiti's so poor, why did the United States spend $200 million building an embassy in Port-au-Prince? Because the United States wants to run the government of Haiti, and they need that size staff.
Yeah. See. Let me say this. One of the things you guys. I said it before, but a Haitian senator visited where we're from, Igbo land, and we have a whole embassy of revolutionaries in Baltimore. So it's like we're connecting the dots. But Haiti was looking at the senator was looking at our culture, where we have the grassroots family, the village system of government. They have they have rural areas. It's mostly farmland and ex-plantations and. They used to have chiefs at a certain point, so they're looking at least a few of them are looking at the more African-centered model, where it's family-centered government. It's hard to control, and Port-au-Prince is just one department or one city. So there's the most of it's rural African village type neighborhood stuff that we can control, and we can create our own government and representatives and voice. So it's like I don't really trip about what's going on in Port-au-Prince and what's in the news, because I know what we got going And I was on the Black Panther call, and they're like, "What you're discussing, it would fit in perfectly if we could structure it right." It's more like they're doing human rights, but they're also like a chamber of commerce. They're into business. I guess they were into security. If we could have the Black Panthers or some version of that in Haiti, that would put us on another level. That's my goal, or one of my goals. So that's why you're on the call or in the group. So we're gonna see how it goes. But I'm also looking at the stock market personally too. But yeah, we're still with you. We're still with you.
I got this Natalie. I just want to interject. What needs to happen? I understand the big ratio of cocoa and chocolate and the raw materials and things of that nature. How do we get the countrymen themselves to understand that they need to elevate and virtually build refineries, or what it takes for this type of stuff? I mean, like crude oil and things of that nature. I mean, it can't be that difficult to build this stuff if you already have the technology to build it.
Let me answer
keep
that.
In mind,
I want to answer
keep
that.
in mind. Yeah, let me respond to that. Keep in mind that Haiti has not had an elected government for at least 3 years now. All right? The United States runs Haiti. I mean, literally runs Haiti. They don't even allow the people of Haiti to have their own elections. Okay? And it means that people here in this country has to challenge this government and it claims that it believes in democracy and challenge them on that, especially what they're doing in Haiti. They're preventing that country from having a democratic process. You have to remember that the last elected president in Haiti, a day before the end of his term, announced he was going to stay in office for another year, even though that went contrary to the Constitution. And Biden said, no problem. Now, when Trump said that, Biden went bananas. But when he did that, he got the confidence that, in fact, that he could pretty much start cutting his own deals that were better than the ones the United States was offering him. And that's when the United States decided to take him out. I mean, he had gone over to Turkey and a number of other countries discussing business deals for Haiti. United States, just like Biden says, Latin America and South America and the Caribbean is not the United States' backyard. Biden said it was the front yard. What did he mean by that? He means that the United States controls all those countries, or tried to control all those countries. United States, when Obama got in office, carried out a military coup inside of Honduras. And they brought in some backwards government inside of Honduras. The last election they had last year in Honduras, guess what happened? The wife of the guy that was overthrown in the military coup became the president. So it can be that people can buck the system that the United States shoves down their throat. But we need to be clear that this government undermines other countries because they want to rob them. This whole idea of what they did in Nicaragua, and Nicaragua finally said, the heck with this. We gave you guys options to get your act together. You still wanted to do this thing for the United States? So fine. They took 200 of those reactionaries, stuck them on a plane, and sent them to the United States. You say, you want to work for the United States? Then go live in the United States. And the United States tried to make it look like they were, it's terrible. They sent these people out of Nicaragua. No. These folks carried out violence inside of Nicaragua that killed hundreds of people doing what the United States want them to do. The United States can't win an election in these countries. And one of the things a lot of people don't realize, Nicaragua, the east coast of Nicaragua, is predominantly Afro. The Nicaraguan ambassador to the United States here in Washington, D.C. is an Afro-Nicaraguan. So we need to be clear on understanding the role of Africans. When you look at Colombia, the people of Colombia voted out the right-wing government that the United States have been supporting for the last 30 years. And the vice president that just got elected is an Afro-Colombian sister. Colombia has 47% of its population is Afro. So we need to understand that, you know, when they start talking about Latin America, they're talking about African people.
Okay.
And they are potential allies for us if we are clear and understand what they're trying to do.
I have some of those contacts. I have a brother in Brazil who knows the Colombian vice president, the sisters.
Yes.
And yep, they're in the traditional cults, African cults together. So they promote the culture. Yep, but it's like you gotta have a military to your culture. It's you know, you can't be a hostage and call it they're kind of like hostage in those countries, even though they have some of the spirituality. It's not really functional if you can't defend yourself. But yeah. So I was gonna say my response too, especially if you're talking about the continent and controlling resources. A lot of times when people go over there and spend millions of dollars, and they're just happy to go back, they're not talking about controlling resources, and that allows the corruption to continue. Like it's like the government's going to sell all the resources and go live. They're going to be corrupt and live in Europe. You know, that's the goal from the village. Become a politician, and then African Americans could come and splash money down to balance the budget. As far as the homecoming aspect is just to balance the budget. So it's like you gotta be. There's no. Well, my thing is, and our goal is to establish these like town unions and branches where we're educating people, but people are spoiled, where they're getting millions and billions of dollars from the diaspora returning home and not even addressing any of these things. They just think that's how it's supposed to be.
Oh boy, yeah, I see how that can seriously cripple a lot of shit. I see what you're saying now. The greed, the love of money is still the root of all evil. I got you. I think I understand the biggest of the issue. Even though we see the issue of wanting a free Africa, they're going to have to want it too.
Exactly. Exactly.
I take it that's why Muammar Gaddafi was assassinated. It definitely was the reason why. In fact, what Muammar Gaddafi was in the effort of doing was creating a single currency for Africa. Right. Okay, and because of that, that would have deflated the value of the U.S. dollar. Because the United States is buying coltan, cobalt, oil, diamonds, gold, what have you, out of Africa. And if people they no longer had to depend on using the U.S. dollar to buy and sell their products throughout Africa, that would have seriously had created a real devastating effect on the U.S. dollar. And the U.S. dollar right now is in serious trouble. I don't know if you all have been paying attention, but there's always around the BRICS countries. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Even Saudi Arabia has expressed an interest in wanting to be a part of BRICS right now. So we need to be very, very clear about the United States is going down. You know, it's going down. And the question for us is, what are we ready to do to keep us from going down with it. Because what the United States going to want to do is they're going to try to use its military might to keep itself afloat the same way Hitler did. And we need to be clear. The United States, when it wanted coltan and cobalt and copper out of the Congo, they orchestrated a war from 1996 to 2006 that killed over 6 million Congolese. 6 million. And the media didn't talk about it. They kept it quiet. And that killing is still going on to this day. And if you look at the number now from 96 to today, it's probably around about 10 million people have been killed in the Congo.
And
why?
Those are all under...
Congo has $22 trillion worth of minerals. And if Congo ever processed its minerals and refined its own minerals, it would have somewhere around $300 trillion. That one country.
Congo is part of the organization. I'm working with a multi-state organization, or I'm approaching it in Gabon. They have from Nigeria down to Zimbabwe, South Africa, over to Tanzania and Somalia. It's one cultural group, the same one that started an embassy in Baltimore. The whole cultural group in Southeast Africa starts in Nigeria. So we're saying we're on top of all of that as far as restructuring.
Well, I would say this: in the last 2 weeks, I've had a number of Congolese come and have break bread with me. I had a brother who was head of a political party of the Congo, came and had lunch. I had a brother who is a deputy in the National Assembly in the Congo. His son lives down in North Carolina. They drove from North Carolina up here to have dinner with me. I had a sister who's been organizing women farmers inside of the western part of the Congo and the northern part of the Congo. She came by and had lunch with me. And after having lunch, she said, Brother Pumphrey, I'd like to come back. I have to leave next Friday, but I'd like to meet you again before I leave. And she came by last Thursday and met with me again for lunch. What I'm trying to say, brothers, is this. There are people who are doing some serious organizing on the ground in these countries. You may be aware that I am a co-founder of Friends of the Congo. And that we have been doing work inside the Congo ever since 2004. I'm waiting right now on a potential phone call where they said that they got a bank that will finance our ability to help them to be trained on how to turn their cocoa into premium chocolate. If that happens, they will probably come close to generating somewhere close to $1 billion. So there are a number of things that we need to begin to do, and helping these countries take back control over their resources. Because them just selling their resources as raw material is putting them further into debt.
It's my position but just by starting these branches, as far as the organization we're working with, it's to integrate the countries and make them one. And while it's like dissolving all the bad debt and all the bad deals that were made, the religion, everything got to be reassessed. We're not going to have 52 countries, separate countries. We're going to have maybe one with different territory, with different zones, but that's all in play. Like we can't go forward with 50 separate countries, 50 separate militaries, and say we're going to help each of them from the USA. I live in the hood. No, that's not realistic. 50 separate militaries and 50 separate countries, and people over here got to unify to help people who aren't even unified themselves.
But you realize the United States has 75 military bases in Africa today. 75 military bases in Africa under the African Command.
And what has Africa done to unite against them?
Well, that's again, if Africa doesn't move to have its own economic independence, and that's the role we can play. There's nothing stopping us from going to school right here and learning how to make chocolate. There's nothing stopping us from going to school and learning how to smelter gold. There's nothing here that's stopping us from going to school and learning how to cut diamonds.
You're right.
And each of those things, you multiply the value of those materials. So we're here where the developed world is, where the technology is. We need to talk about how do we now encourage our community, our comrades, to master these skills and then go to Africa with something that can help them multiply their resources.
I agree.
Because that's when they're going to pay. That's when they're going to pay attention to you.
I agree. Every time we talk, I get excited, but it's just about following through. But one thing I noticed, and it's interesting. The Black Panthers are it's 60 years old, but they're more respected in outside USA than inside. But like India, they're a full blown political group where they shape policies and take offices to control the minerals and things. But it's like in USA, what you can say about the new Black Panther Party is that they're actually maybe the biggest. You could think of a marketing or the biggest voice. They have the biggest reach as far as spreading a message. That you could use the Panthers, the AME Church. Maybe the NOI, the Urban League. Maybe it's only a few Black organizations that got branches and can form an echo chamber, even a global echo chamber. And the Panthers are one of them. They're very much into business. Here in Jacksonville, we don't even have a chamber of commerce, so we could have a new Black Panther chamber where we're doing business. So there's a gap. There's opportunity. And I'm surprised that you haven't ever been in touch with the Panthers in D.C. But I promise that as soon as we get off the call, I'm gonna tag you, Brother Nadalak, and Brother Malik, maybe Brother Makal in a group chat. And I'm going to forward you Brother Malik's number where they're interested in doing business and taking things to another level. I think the stock market is going to be a big key to raising capital and just raising our consciousness as a black cultures. I'm 10 toes down on the stock market. Some more money, less time. More money, less time. So I'm learning that. But yeah, brother is the DMV is a base. Florida is a base. And I'm looking at the Mississippi Delta, but even that is it used to be called Florida. So it's just, we're all in one one leg. But yeah, I want to go to Haiti one of these days on a passport and formally establish our government. Be welcome there. There's some people went to Nigeria and they said we're the one people and let's establish a government together. He came back to Florida as a stopover flight, and he was called a criminal, arrested and deported and banned. Senator John Moise Charles. So they got their eyes on us. So, but it is what it is. We know the steps, and we're going to execute.
Okay, my brother. Well, you all have my number.
Mm-hmm. All right. Was there anything else you want to say, Brother Nadalak?
No. This has been very informative. you know, hey, I've been affiliated with the Panthers, the Nubians United for Self-Defense and all the other stuff. I've been a supporter for probably about 10 to 13 years, something like that, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
me being in the entertainment field, do what I want to do and when I come to support and things of that nature. So, I see the vision, you know what I'm saying? I never gave it too much thought about virtually going to get my own, well, I won't say get my own, but organizing and learning how to get my own cocoa over here then to manufacture chocolate and things of that nature. Because that might be, you know, who knows? The chocolate people might be able to sell the chocolate and make things better for chocolate people.
I'll put it this way. The industry itself generates over $135 billion a year. Okay? And less than 10 billion or less than 12 billion of that $135 billion ends up in Africa.
Right.
Okay.
Let me ask you something. Since you are very informative into that and things of that nature, how many chocolate companies are actually black owned, or if there is any? I mean, like I run a small trucking company, and I, you know, virtually just